I'm Kirk Anderson, and welcome back to the shop. Now, this week's video is a little different. It's not a build, it's not an install, it's maintenance. Table saw maintenance specifically. I follow a few woodworking social media sites, and recently, someone posted that a table saw that they've had for 3 years just stopped working. And he was asked, "What maintenance have you done on the table saw?" And his response was, "None. It's a mechanical device. It needs maintenance. Just like your car. You're not going to drive 100,000 miles on your car without changing the oil. Same thing with the table saw. It needs some tender, loving care for it to work at the optimum." I want to thank everybody for watching my videos, and please give the video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you'll be notified whenever I post new videos. With that, I'm getting to the point now where I'm posting a weekly video, and they will be posted on Fridays. So, without further ado, let's get into the maintenance. Okay, first we need to understand that there's a few different types of table saws. First, there's benchtop, or also job site. Then you have contractor. Then you have a hybrid, and then cabinet saw. My table saw is what's considered an enclosed hybrid. It's like a contractor saw, but it has an enclosed cabinet. One thing that this allows, it allows for a better dust collection on the saw than just a regular contractor saw. You can also classify maintenance as daily maintenance, weekly maintenance, monthly maintenance, yearly maintenance. The best thing you can do is consult the owner's manual. And if for whatever reason you don't have it, contact the manufacturer. And if they're out of business, I don't know what to tell you. When doing anything on the table saw other than cutting wood, unplug it. Now this can be classified as daily maintenance, just cleaning the top. What I usually do is I sweep down the top, and then I use compressed air to blow the sawdust out of the nooks and crannies. Now with most maintenance with the table saw, another thing that you need to do is remove the fence. And the next thing to do is remove the saw blade. Most table saws, the saw blade is removed the same way. You have 2 wrenches that you use to loosen the arbor nut. And then you take the arbor nut and the flange off. And then carefully remove the blade, as most blades today have carbon teeth, and you don't want to hit those up against the cast iron table of the table saw. And now where to put the blade once you take it off? And that's why I made the blade storage station. It gives the blade a home while you're doing the maintenance without worrying that the teeth might become chipped. Now just use compressed air to blow out the dust in this area. And as you can see, quite a bit of dust can accumulate down here. Then wipe it down again to make sure it's totally dust free. The next operation is something that could be classified as, let's say, weekly maintenance. Waxing the top. Now I use Johnson's paste wax. That's what I prefer. There's many products out there that you can use. Just put a thin coat of wax on it and then buff it out. And it creates a nice slick surface that the wood can just slide over. And it also protects the cast iron table. Now we need to get some of the internal parts of the saw. There again, every saw is going to be different on this. With my saw, there's an access hatch at the back. and the back is just attached with some hex screws. Just be careful when you take the back off, because it might slip and fall. Now when you get in there, just take a rag and wipe down things like the worm gear, the bull gear, the lead screw, the trunnion and slides, and just make sure that they're wiped clean. Now, if it has some built up dirt and dust, you might have to get a wire brush to clean it off. To make sure it's totally clean, get another rag with some mineral spirits on it and wipe it down. Now every saw is going to be a little different in how the motor drives the saw blade. This one, it has a belt. Check the belt, make sure it's not frayed and that it moves easily. Now as far as the trunnion slides, the worm gears and bull gears, you can put a little bit of white lithium grease on there to help make it operate really smoothly. It doesn't take much, and just wipe off any excess. Once I put the white lithium grease on there, I operated the lead screw to ensure that the grease gets on all the parts. And then I'll go in there and I'll wipe any excess grease off. Now for basic maintenance, that takes care of the internal parts. If you have other issues, you might have to go a little bit deeper than that. Now it's time to check the alignment of the table saw. First, you will check the saw blade to be parallel to the miter slot. There are a few ways to do this. Now I just have a gauge that you put in the miter slot that reads the distance from the miter slot to the saw. And you just check at the front of the blade and then to the back of the blade. And the readings should be the same. A good rule of thumb is that it should be within 3/1000th of an inch. Anything more than that, and you can start having a little burning when you're cutting. And if it's too bad, then you start getting into the possibility of having a lot of kickback. Mine was actually just at the end of being within specs. And now once you check that the miter slot is parallel to the saw blade, now you need to make sure that the fence is parallel to the miter slot. Every table saw fence is a little different in how you adjust it. For my fence, you take the fence off and there's a couple of hex nut screws that you turn to adjust the fence. Well, that concludes the table saw maintenance. Most of this stuff is really easy and it's not that time consuming, but it can really help in maintain the saw and maintain the longevity of the saw. In most shops, the table saw is the center of the shop. And you need that equipment to be working at its optimum. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and remember, give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And remember, all you woodworkers out there, just get out there and cut some wood.